Mhm.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning to everybody.
Yes.
Good morning, very good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Namaskar.
তো সান্নাল স্যারও এসে গেছেন। সান্নাল স্যার এসে গেছেন, ঠিক আছে, সবাই এসে গেছে।
A very good afternoon to all of
Morning.
esteemed experts, Principal Madam, the Organizing Secretary. On behalf of Raja Narendralal Khan Women's College Autonomous, we would like to welcome all in the two-day International E-Conference on Environment and Sustainability, which is being organized by Department of Zoology UG and PG in association with Internal Quality Assurance Cell of our college and also in collaboration with West Bengal Biodiversity Board. This e-conference will span over 2 days, that is today on 13th October and on 14th October. In the day one, we would have the keynote lecture delivered by Dr. A.K. Sannal, Chairman West Bengal Biodiversity Board, Kolkata, and the plenary lecture by Dr. U.G. Sakai, Associate Professor, Department of Environmental Chemistry and Chemical Engineering, Kogakuin University, Tokyo, Japan. On day two, we would have the plenary lecture by Dr. Stefano Hikmudeli of CNR Institute of Biophysics, Operating Unit of PISA, National Research Council of Italy, as well as the second plenary lecture by Professor Gautam Chandra, Professor, Department of Zoology, University of Bardhaman, West Bengal. I would like to here share that over 100 abstracts were obtained for this e-conference, among which 12 have been selected for presentation. 6 participants will be presenting on the day one, as well as 6 participants will be presenting on day two. Let us now begin our two-day international e-conference on environment and sustainability. I would now like to invite our principal, Dr. Joyshri Laha, and also patron of this e-conference to deliver the welcome speech. Madam, please.
Thank you, Rashmi. A very good morning to everybody. I welcome all of you in two-day International E-Conference on Environment and Sustainability, organized by Department of Zoology in association with Internal Quality Assurance Cell of Raja Narendralal Khan Women's College Autonomous in collaboration with West Bengal Biodiversity Board, Kolkata, West Bengal. Being the head of the institution, I had the opportunity to introduce to you the legacy of the college and about the Department of Zoology. Raja Narendralal Khan Women's College was established with the blessings and initiative of the then Chief Minister of West Bengal, Dr. Bidhan Chandra Roy, in the historical Boat Palace of Midnapur town in the year 1957. In the ensuing years, the college has registered areas of teaching and research. The college has received A grade prize from NAC accreditation, first in the year 2004, then 2011, and again in 2016. The college has also received CPE, Center with Potential for Excellence status in the year 2011 and received grant second time in the year 2017. College has also received DST Fest grant twice. Presently, college offers 27 subjects at the undergraduate level and 11 subjects at the postgraduate level. In the year 2019, we have also received 2 research centers, one for natural and applied sciences and the other for humanities and social sciences. Presently, college has 3,500 students and almost 160 faculty members. 40 research scholars are presently pursuing their PhD program under the research center. Now about the department. Department of Zoology has both UG as well as PG sections. It is the department which introduced PG section first in the Raja Enel Khan Women's College. Being a PG department, it has successfully completed many minor and major research projects funded by central as well as state organizations. Almost all the teachers are involved in pursuing research work, and many scholars have received PhD degree under their supervision. I congratulate all the teachers, scholars for organizing this 2-day international e-conference. I express my gratitude and gratefulness to all the speakers of today's schedule. The first speaker, Dr. A.K. Shannal, Chairman, West Bengal Biodiversity Board, Kolkata, West Bengal, for his keynote address on biodiversity and sustainable development. I welcome you, sir. I welcome the second speaker, Dr. U.G. Sakal, Assistant Professor, Department of Environment, Chemistry and Chemical Engineering, Kogakuin University, Tokyo, Japan, for his plenary lecture. I also welcome all the scholars who are presenting their research work in this conference. I wish a great success of this conference. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Over to Rashmi.
Thank you, madam, for your welcome address. I would now request Dr. Particulate Chakraborty to say a few words about this e-conference and also about the Department of Zoology, UG and PG. Sir, please.
Good morning, respected the Chief Patron, Dr. A.K. Shannal, the Chairman, West Bengal Biodiversity Board, Kolkata, India, respected our Principal Madam, Dr. Joyasri Laha, and the plenary speaker, today's plenary speaker, my friend, Dr. U.G. Sakai, Associate Professor, Department of Environmental Chemistry and Chemical Engineering, Kogakuin University, Tokyo, Japan. And tomorrow, the 2 plenary lectures will be there. Another my friend, Dr. Stefano Dignudeli, CNR Institute of Biophysics, Operating Unit of PISA, National Research Council of Italy, and Professor Gautam Chandra, Department of Zoology, University of Burdwan, West Bengal, India. Today's the theme of the seminar is the environment and sustainability. You know, the environment is the natural world as a whole or in a particular geographical area, especially as affected by human activity. Whereas sustainability is the ability to exist constantly. Therefore, the environmental sustainability can be defined as responsible interaction with the environment so that the natural resources can be maintained well and allow for long-term environmental quality. The practice of environmental sustainability helps to ensure that the needs of today's population are met without jeopardizing the ability of future generation to meet their needs. If you look at the nature, you can see that when a tree falls, it decomposes, adding nutrient to the soil. These nutrients help sustain suitable condition so that the future sampling can grow. Sustainability does not mean living with necessities, but rather being aware of the resource consumption and reducing unnecessary waste. It includes action to reduce the use of physical resources, the adoption of recycle everything approach, the use of renewable rather than depletable resources, the redesign of production processes and products to eliminate the production of toxic materials and the protection and restoration of natural habitats and environments valued for their survivability. The motivation behind sustainability are complex, personal, and diverse. The value of sustainability is demonstrated by many individuals as well as organizations who demonstrate this value in their policies, everything activities and behaviors. In developing countries, the current environmental and social circumstances individuals have played a major role. The people of today, along with the future generation, must create solutions and adopt so that the biosphere and human civilization to coexist. Okay, thank you very much. Next, I request
Thank you,
Dr.
sir.
No. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, sir. I would now request to introduce our keynote speaker. He will be introduced by Dr. Anshuman Chandu, Joint Organizing Secretary, Assistant Professor and Head, Department of Zoology, PG. Sir, please.
Thank you. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to introduce our keynote speaker in this fine morning. He is an eminent scientist of many scientists, research guide of many professors, Dr. Ashok Kanti Sannal, the chairman of West Bengal Biodiversity Board. Dr. Sannal did his MSc and PhD in zoology from the University of Calcutta. He joined as lecturer in the PG Department of Zoology, Darjeeling Government College. Dr. Sannal worked in Zoological Survey of India and discharged responsibilities of the director there. Dr. Sannal attended 2 courses on biodiversity and environmental impact assessment at the University of Bradford, UK, and a course in Singapore. He is engaged in researches on taxonomy and ecology of acarology, wildlife, biodiversity, and they discovered over 130 species of animals as new to science, published several books and more than 230 scientific papers in national and internationally reputed journals. He joined the 19th Indian Scientific Expedition team to Antarctica in 1999-2000 and discovered 6 new species and published several papers on Antarctic fauna and climate change. He is Fellow of Zoological Society, Calcutta, and West Bengal Academy of Science and Technology, and also a council member and Biological Science Secretary of the Asiatic Society, Kolkata. Thank you, sir. Please start your precious keynote speech. Okay, sir.
Okay, I should start.
Sir, you can start, sir.
Yes, sir, please start.
Okay. Very good morning to everybody. Especially, I would like to express my sincere thanks and gratefulness to Dr. Joyasri Laha, principal of the college, for inviting me to deliver the keynote address in this very important international webinar, uh, which would, I believe, certainly give some pathways to the future generation, that how to mitigate the problems which we are facing in respect of the environment all the time. And I am also very much grateful to the authority and the organizers of the international webinar for collaborating your the we're very privileged to be a collaborator, as because the West Bengal Biodiversity Board, within its mandate, the protection of environment through the sustenance of livelihood of the community, with successful and sustainable utilization of the biological resources, so that I think
ক্যামেরা অফ করে দিয়েছি আবার
it is very pardoning to be a
এ যার জায়গা থেকে বলছি
part of this webinar today. I also express my thanks to the organizers, to Professor Chakraborty, Partho Chakraborty, and Dr. Angshuman Chando of the Zoology Department of the college, for their keen association with me for the last many years, and for inviting me to deliver the keynote address today morning. And I'm also very happy that and also very much privileged in the sense that the college, NL Khan College, is a college which I know for last many years, and very successful in many fields of achievements. And I'm proud, and I'm very happy to be a part of the college in different activities. And for that, I once again express my sincere thanks and gratitude to the respected honorable principal of the college and Dr. Joyasri Laha. Now I would like to express start my talk, and I have slides, so that I would like to. It's visible. The slides are visible.
No, sir, you have to present there. There's a tab present now, sir. Kindly click it, and then it will.
Nothing is coming here.
So in the below, where the icons for the microphone and the camera is there on the right hand side, there's a tab, sir. Present now.
It's okay. Just I'm seeing. Yes, it is okay. Microphone is all right. Then turn present now. Present now.
Yes, sir. Present now, sir.
Yes, present now. Then your entire screen or window, three icons are there. A Chrome tab.
Yes, sir. In the window, you will see your PPT in the short size, sir. That you click, then the.
Okay. Data. Maybe. It's not coming. Shared. The first I have to. Yes, then what is the uh,
Sir, that present now, sir, it was coming, sir. You just try once again, sir. In the present now, you select the window which is showing a PPT, then it will be visible to
but
all.
it's not that window is not coming. That I'm telling. That window, my PPT is not coming.
So,
My
first open your PPT,
first open my PPT.
then click present now, sir.
That present now is not coming. After opening the PPT,
Yes,
that
sir. Yes, sir. Then you go back to the Google Meet, sir. There you click present now, sir.
Google Meet.
Then select the PPT which you have opened, sir. In the present now, the option is for open in a window. There you
Oh,
select
I
the.
see, I see, I see. Now it has come. Then I will click share.
Yes, sir.
Now it has come.
So it would take a few seconds, sir. It's visible, sir.
Visible.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now it is visible. It is visible now. Hello.
So it is visible, sir. It is visible, sir.
Okay. I am audible also.
Yes, sir. You are audible also, sir. Please
Okay. Okay.
proceed.
Thank you. Thank you. The theme of this webinar is about environment and sustainability. And this, when the word sustainability comes in our mind in respect to the environment, then naturally the very word development comes. Because all our efforts, all our activities, all our thinking in respect of the environment is ultimately towards the development of the human being. So that this, so that first we would like to discuss what is environment and what for we need the environment and development. And the development is a process. It's very known to everybody. And this process creates growth, progress, positive change, or the addition of physical, economic, environmental, social, and demographic components. So that the environment needs the development of environment and the social and demographic components to the development. And why we need development? Because without the development, the rise in the level and quality of life of the population cannot be occurred. And the creation or expansion of local regional income, so that income generation, employment opportunities, livelihood development, all these things which the population needs, prime needs of the population, cannot be achieved without the development in respect of in considering the environment, the natural resources, and their role in social and demographic components, aspects. And all these developmental processes we advocate that should be without damaging the resources of the environment. Development is visible and useful. We can see the development. We can imagine and also see. And this development is very, very useful. Without the development, no achievement can be regained, and not unnecessarily, necessarily immediately. We can think that development is not happening. We are conserving the environment. We are safeguarding the environment in different aspects, but there is no development. there is no development of the humankind. But we should have to wait. Ultimately, the nature, the environment helps in development today or tomorrow. And it includes an aspect of quality change and the creation of conditions for continuing of the human life. So that this development is very, very essential for the successful and sustained living of the humankind on the Mother Earth. And then question comes, we want development. We are running after development. But what about the environment? Is it related to the development, this environment? Then if we, that already Professor Chakraborty very clearly mentioned about the environment and how to mitigate the environmental problems, how to exploit the environment without hampering, without destroying the basic nature of the environment. In general terms, the environment is defined as the external conditions in which an organism lives. It's very known to everybody, very known to everybody. And the word environment comes from a French word environ, meaning around, surrounding us. Whatever we find, that may be physical, that may be biological, and all the natural components surrounding us, we call it as environment. It is used to describe everything that's surrounding and surrounds an organism. And this environment, the total things, the biological and the living and the non-living, both the components are the part of the environment, and these parts play an important role in healthy living and the existence of life on planet Earth. Without these natural resources, without the living and non-living components of the environment, the life cannot sustain on this planet Earth. And that's why it is for different living species, and we all are dependent on this environment for food, air, water, fuel, nutrition, and other needs. For every needs, that I am repeatedly telling that for successful living on the Mother Earth, the environment, we are very much dependent on the environment for getting our necessary requirements, food, air, water, fuel, nutrition, and other needs. And then the sustainability, and another word is there in the theme, the sustainability, that has also been described, narrated very carefully by Professor Chakraborty. The name sustainability is derived from the Latin sustainere, meaning maintain, support, afford, or endure. That means whatever development, whatever environmental stability we achieve, that should be maintained. That should be maintained. That means we have this term homeostasis, the harmony. These two terms are very much related to this. That harmony is to be maintained. The development which we have acquired, that is to be supported through interaction with the environment in positive response, and afford the activities, afford the features of the development in a right way, in right manner. And this sustainability and of the environment came in mind in the middle of the 20th century. And before that, the early, if we see the early human history, it is found that use of fire and desire for specific foods were developed among the humankind, just like 2 lakhs of years ago. Then the environment started polluted. Rather, I should not say polluted. Rather, started changing in different form. That is, started altering the natural composition of plant and animal communities. After that, just 10,000 or 12,000 years ago, the mankind started agriculture, the agrarian communities emerged, and that agriculture started the loss of the natural resources for the sake of the agriculture, and the deforestation started. That just from the very early days of development of the humankind, whatever forest was there, and now we get only 50% of that. Only 50% of that is there, and deforestation is a rampant process is going on. Rampant process that is going on, and every day 13 billion trees are denuded. 13 billion trees all over the world. So that we can imagine how this our natural environment is being degraded through the activities of the humankind. Then after this agriculture, this industrial revolution of the 18th and 19th centuries, and this industrial revolution, through this industrial revolution, a tremendous growth, and the growth potential we observed in the field of energy in fossil fuels. The coal was discovered, and by using the coal, the power was generated, and industrialization, whatever we call this, through this industrialization, the rampant loss of natural resources, as well as the degradation of environment started. In the late 20th century, environmental problems became global in scale. Then we could understand, we can feel that environment is being degraded, and without the protection, taking measures for mitigating the environmental problems, it would be difficult for us to live sustainably, peacefully, healthy on the earth. In the 1970s, the ecological footprint of humanity exceeded the carrying capacity of earth. Therefore, the mode of life of humanity became unstable. You know that during the last 200 years, sevenfold of population increased in the world. Sevenfold. That time it was 1 billion. Now sevenfold of population was increased, and to satisfy this population increase, economic development, economic growth was happened nearly 30 folds. And this economic development, on which cost this economic development was happened, and the cost of the natural resources. The environment was degraded as a result. So if we see the ancient civilizations, almost all the ancient civilizations, starting from the Maya civilization, our Harappan civilization, the Tigris-Euphrates, Mesopotamia civilization, all those civilizations got declined due to the excessive rate of development and the result of a loss of natural resources, degradation of environment, and ultimately the loss of biodiversity. The loss of biodiversity resulted in the climate change, and climate change directly and indirectly greatly reduces the crop production. The hunger nowadays we're trying after the hunger all over the world. And one of the reason, important cause of this hunger is the climate change and the loss of crop production. In the 21st century, there is an increasing global awareness of the threat posed by the human greenhouse effect. That is, it is the present scenario. In present day scenario, we are very much afraid of the greenhouse effect, and produced largely by forest clearing and the burning of fossil fuels. That I have already mentioned. What a rampant denudation of forest is going on, and we are what a great amount of fossil fuels we are using in the name of the industrial revolution. There are at least three letters But the scientists all over the world are very much worried, and repeatedly they are alarming people, the world population, regarding the degradation of the environment, and they are requesting all the time to save the environment, taking some measures immediately. In 1992, about 1,700 scientists wrote the first world scientist warning regarding this. In 2017, second warning to humanity, and this was from 15,364 scientists from 184 countries, and they advocated to reduce the use of fossil fuel, use of meat, and other resources. That means they are advocating to change the food habit of the humankind, to change the food habit. And recently in November 2019, more than 11,000 scientists from 153 countries, they repeatedly requested rather, to mitigate, to reduce the climate change, overconsumption, move away from fossil fuel, eat less meat, stabilize the population. Without stabilizing the population growth, population influx, the environment cannot be saved. And the loss of natural resources, biological resources are not to be saved without the stabilization of the population. And so that the stability, the sustainability that I've already mentioned, that in the 21st century, it refers to the capacity for the biosphere and human civilization to coexist. It is our ultimate goal. The ultimate goal of the humanity is to live in coexistence in the biosphere, and to maintain with full respect to the human civilization. This is the sustainability. It is also defined as the process of people maintaining change in a homeostasis balanced environment. In an environment should, in such a way, it should be balanced, and then homeostasis is to be maintained, and the exploitation of resources, direction of investments, the orientation of technological development and industrial change are all in harmony. It should be in harmony, but in present time, in many cases, it is not being implemented, not being affected in harmony. That is the problem. And enhance both current and future potential to meet human needs and aspirations. So that human needs and aspirations are to be met. This is the fundamental necessity. Without maintaining the human needs and aspirations, no development can be occurred. So that these two are to be respected, 100% respect should be paid to this, and in keeping in mind, this harmony is to be maintained. Harmony is to be thought in processing all the developmental projects for the humankind. Then this development, if we think about this development, one definition I have given, but there are many other definitions. One thing it came in my mind, that by development, definition of development given by the Nobel laureate Amartya Sen, and for example, he developed the capability approach, which defined development as a tool enabling people to reach the highest level of their ability approach. If I am able to develop myself, so that I have to do something by exploiting my ability, then only my personal development will occur. In nature also, in the planet Earth also, the same capability approach can be thought in for the developmental processes. And this capability approach become a basis nowadays for the measurement of the human development index. Human development index. That means how this the human being in different sectors, how this human being are capable to withstand the environmental problems, as well as to make the development for them and also for their future generations. That means to make sustainable development. And there are many other definitions by different authors, different social scientists, and one of the most important one is that in that definition that the gender equity has been considered very seriously and emphasized the empowerment of women as a development tool. So that I'm just mentioning this empowerment of women in the sense that the empowerment of women is very much related to the environment, very much related to the environment. So that if environment is sustainable, maintaining sustainably, then the woman empowerment will develop in such a state that the total development in the neighborhood will happen. So that it is one of the most important factor towards the development and sustainable environmental sustainability is to be considered. And then now we are very much concerned. It's a very common word that sustainable development. Sustainable development. We know that in 1972 in Stockholm, and that the United Nations Conference on Environment and Development was happened, and in that it was very strongly recommended that the development should be sustainable only when the environment is to be considered in its pristine state. Then only the development will be sustainable development. And from after that, after 20 years in 1992 in Brazil, in Rio de Janeiro, that Convention on Biological Diversity which happened, and there in that convention it was the United Nations Conference of Man and Environment. In that United Nations Conference, 6 documents were signed. The first 3 were related to sustainable development. The very most common were the Agenda 21. It is very much related to the sustainable development measures and methods and application of the sustainable development. And the other 3 documents, legally binding documents, the Convention on Biological Diversity, the desert to check the desertification, and forest sustainability. So that, and from 1992, this sustainable development, this idea was originated. And before that, after 1972, the one commission was formed, and that World Commission on Environment and Development. And in 1987, that commission submitted their report named Our Common Future, and that is known as the Brundtland Commission report. And that, according to that report, sustainable development is development which meets the needs of the present. That means the needs of the present generation met without compromising the ability of future generations to meet their own needs. So that we should not compromise with the needs of the future generations. It should be kept in mind for getting the sustainable development. And this sustainable development is the product of 3 different systems. One is social, another is environment, another is economic. These 3 components, objectives of the sustainable development. So that for getting sustainable development, to development sustainable, social development, environmental development, and economic development is needed. But not in recent times. It was thought that development means the economic development. Only the economic development will protect the environment, will protect the natural resources, and the human kind will enjoy the process of development, fruits of the development. But in recent times, these three objectives are considered for the successful and sustainable developmental process: the economic development, social equity, and environmental conservation. So that for development, environmental conservation, environment is one of the prime requirement, and this environment, that well-being of the man, that means we always think about the well-being of the humankind, the sustainable development of the human life systems, and for that, the more or less directly on the sustained delivery of the fundamental ecosystem services. It is known that our all the activities, all the developmental processes are related to the natural resources, are related to the environmental processes, and this environment and sustained delivery of the resources from the environment, from the nature, requires through the ecosystem services. And these ecosystem services we generally define in four terms: provisioning services, supporting services, regulating services, and cultural services. These four services, almost all 21 to 28 needs of the development, needs of the humankind and other living beings are maintained through these four ecosystem services. Then question comes the biodiversity. What is the relation between the biodiversity, the development, the environment, and this ecosystem services? Because my topic was the biodiversity conservation and sustainable development. That biodiversity is the part of the environment, the living component of the environment. So that there is a very, very distinct interrelationship, dependence between the harmony between the living and non-living components of the environment. So that if the living components, the biological component, the biodiversity is not in good state, is not in healthy state, then how this environment is to be maintained in a good condition, in a useful condition, and in a valuable state. So that biodiversity is the most important component towards the successful utilization resources for the human development. And then this biodiversity, biological diversity, is not maintained in natural state. Then what are the problems we find? Then the biological diversity is the extraordinary feature of life in its diversity. The biological diversity, the successful living of man on the earth was possible through millions of years of evolutionary processes supported by co-evolution of galaxy of life forms in the nature. It is already already discussed that from the very first day of the or the origin of the planet Earth and the origin of the life system 3.6 billion years ago, and this after 1 million years, 1 billion years, the first life originated on the Earth. That means nearly 2.8 billion years ago, this life came on the Earth, and this life through the proliferation of their in different forms, and ultimately this the life forms we find today have come up, they originated, developed, and through these developmental processes, we call it evolutionary processes, and supported by co-evolution of galaxy of life forms. The present biological system, biological diversity, which we find today, has come up, has developed. And this total biological system is responsible for the sustainable development and the environmental sustainability. And for that, for the sustainable development, because the sustainable development and environmental sustainability is very much related to each other and that's why I would like to say something, a few words about the sustainable development 2030 agenda for sustainable development. In recently 2015, United Nations has announced the 17 goals, sustainable development goals, and all these 17 sustainable development goals are towards the development of the human being. It's fact, it's true, towards the development of the human being. But if we think it seriously, in depth, then we will find that all these 17 sustainable developmental goals are related to the environmental sustainability. Without the sustainability in the environment, the sustainable developmental goals cannot be achieved. Of these 17 goals, we can see which one which are related to the biodiversity and also the environment. The end of poverty is the first goal in all its forms everywhere, and this poverty is a very common term today, very common term today. That today we have in India, if we consider the state of India, the 140 crores population, 140 crores of population today, and this population, and in India for last 2 decades, during the last 2 decades, tremendous growth in the GDP, and that has increased 4.5 times. The per capita consumption has increased 3 times. Food grain production increased 2 times. India produces sufficient food to feed its population. But in India, 14% of the people, at least 190 million people, are undernourished, or they are suffering from hunger and due to the poverty in different sense. And 20% children under 5 are underweight due to several reasons. The most important one, the hunger due to poverty. 34.7% of children under 5 years of age are stunted their growth, and 51.4% women in the reproductive age are anemic. These are the few examples of poverty, state of poverty in our country, and this similar result we will find in almost all the countries in the world. But why this poverty? Why this poverty? We know that the nearly 50% of the rural people, their livelihood depends on agriculture. And the land, water, and forest are vital resources for the rural economy. And these 3, land, water, and forest, are the components of the environment. And these 3 components, they maintain the rural economy and maintain the livelihood of the humankind. 70% of the people in our country, they live in rural India, so that their poverty is directly and indirectly related to the environment and also to the biological resources, biodiversity, and the productivity of the resources also related to the developmental process and this productivity is getting hampered due to indiscriminate activities of the humankind in recent times. The second is hunger. The hunger is also, I told, that the food security is not achieved till today in the world, and that is due to the loss of biological resources mainly. And in 2020, the Nobel Peace Prize was awarded to the United Nations, that food production committee or something like that. And there it was mentioned, it was clearly mentioned, and that one of nine people are not adequately nourished with food. They are not getting sufficient food, and this causes the hunger in the human being. And this hunger is to be mitigated, is to be minimized only through rational use of biological resources. You know that just a month before, the WWF has published the Living Planet Global Living Planet report, and it indicates that the denudation, the forest denudation, and this forest denudation is mainly due to agricultural practices. And what agriculture? That agriculture is not to supply, to grow crops which are to be used as food to the humankind. This agriculture is related to development, to produce feed of the domestic animals. What animals? That pig, the poultry. As because due to excessive demand of meat from the developed countries, the developing countries or underdeveloped countries, they are denuding their forest regularly, and that land is being used to produce the fodders for the domestic animals, for the animals which are used as meat for the people of the developed countries. And so that the scientists I have already mentioned, they are seriously advocating to change the food habit, to use minimum amount of meat, and this production, this meat, these animals, domestic animals, these animals also directly pollutes the environment through methane, pollutes the environment, so that our food habit is to be changed. And these are this livestock, the fisheries, the poultry, all are related to the biological diversity. And the human livelihood, about 80% needs of the humankind are made from these resources, biological resources, so that this sustainable environment, to maintain, to keep the sustainable environment, the sustainability in the biological utilization of the biological resources is to be carefully respected and maintained. And so that but unfortunately, the biological resources, which is the main source of livelihood of nearly 80% people of the world, these biological resources are getting lost due to several reasons. The habitat loss, and this habitat loss is a rampant loss of the agricultural field, and resulting the loss of crop production. And these agricultural fields are being changed into for a different purpose. Now in our state, we have found that the agricultural fields are getting changed, transformed into for pisciculture, and that fishes are not being used by the common people, and these fishes are polluting the environment in different ways, directly polluting the environment. And these fishes are carnivorous in nature, and due to their presence in the atmosphere, the other indigenous fishes and indigenous biological components are getting lost. So that total ecological system, the ecosystem is getting degraded, and the result is the total loss of the biodiversity. And loss of biodiversity means the non-availability of the crop, non-availability of the food, non-availability of the other prime needs of the humankind for their living, and also the polluted environment, the air pollution, the water pollution, and all sorts of pollution which affects the livelihood, which affects the humankind, are being held through this biological loss of biological diversity. And so that now our intention is to conserve the biodiversity for sustainable environment and also for sustainable development for the mankind. And if we consider our country, the case in our country, the India is very known, very famous for the conservation of the biological resources from old days. And India has currently 4.79% of the total geographic area under an elaborate network of the protected areas and biosphere reserves, national parks. Through these protected areas in different forms, in different nomenclature, the biological diversity, the wildlife are being protected in our country. And this is one of the in situ sort of conservation method in the country. And then ex situ conservation, the museums, these zoo gardens, botanical gardens, and seed banks, these are there for ex situ conservation. And these are also their sacred groves, botanical gardens.
Yes,
These are also there in our country and in different parts of the world. And another important part, the hotspots have been declared all over the world. And in India, there are 4 hotspots, and these hotspots are the very rich in endemic number of endemic species. And there are certain other factors are there to declare a hotspot. In India, there are 4 hotspots, and successfully maintaining these hotspots, a number of endemic species, indigenous species, are getting protected in our country. And besides this, all over the world, a number of conventions, the protocols, and rules and acts have been promulgated, and they are strictly observed all over the world. In our country, in 2002, the Biological Diversity Act has been enacted, and through this act, the biological diversity is being maintained, is being conserved, and until today, through the successful application of the Biodiversity Act in our country, the biological resources in the country have been conserved in a very good state. And through this conservation of biological diversity, the total environment of the country has also been sustainably protected, conserved, and developed. And through these processes in total, and their effect, conjoint effect, ultimately the developmental process which are being implemented in different spheres by the government of India, getting success. And I hope, if all the people, they religiously follow this act, religiously follow and practice the conservation processes and ultimately the developments which we desire will be successful, and the fruits of the development with the humankind will enjoy very much, and the world would be a very good place. This planet Earth would be a very good place for sustainable living of the not only the humankind, all life forms in the earth. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for this wonderful presentation and for the keynote address. The panelists present over here has forwarded some questions, which I would like to have a question and answer session, if you would permit, sir.
Yes, yes.
There is a query regarding how many number of plant and animal species are utilized by human as their food.
Actually, nearly 8,000 plant species are being used. They are considered as edible. They are considered as edible, but maximum 200 species of the plants are getting cultivated, are being cultivated, and for the crop production. And of this 200, maximum 20 plant species are providing nearly 60 to 70% of the nutrients to the humankind. And similarly, the protein species of animals are providing nearly 60 to 70% of nutrients to the humankind. In other words, if we come down again from 20 and 14, only 4 plant species, 4 edible plants are providing nutrients to the humankind in the tune of about 70%. These 4 are the maize, rice, the potato, and the wheat. These 4. And the problem is this. There are several locations in different countries of the world that the problem with the potato, and if that happens again, and there are several instances of problem with the wheat, problem with the maize in different countries, even in USA. Billions of dollars lost due to rampant loss of the crop. And if this happens, along with these 4 animal, this plant species, then what will happen? So that this is the high time to find out different other sources of food. We know that the people living in the forest and forest ranges, they use nearly 200 varieties or species of plants and animals for their regular use as food or as for other purposes. So that this is the time, we have to find out those species and analyze those species, find out their active ingredients, and to find out how these species are to be used successfully as food or for other to meet the other needs of the humankind. And in this respect, I would like to mention that fungus, this mushroom is very good in respect of nutrients in protein content, and I have experts on fungus who are working in fungus, that you please prepare food just like the soybean nuggets. You prepare for fungus, and that would be sold in the market, and the rural people, the poor people will purchase with few rupees only, and their protein need will be from this mushroom. So that these are the fields are to be find out, are to be worked out immediately for our future generation.
Thank you, sir. And the next question is regarding, is there any interrelationship between poverty and biodiversity loss?
Yes. What is the root causes? What are the root causes of the poverty? Poverty means the insufficient supply of the needs, insufficient supply or no supply of prime needs of the human being. Our need is food, our need is shelter, our need is health, our need is recreation, our need is to is other requirements for the daily to meet the daily needs. So that food, I told that 50% of the people, their livelihood depends on agriculture. Agriculture means agrobiodiversity. It's related to the biological resources. So that the loss of the agrobiodiversity, it is getting lost. It is fact that the agrobiodiversity is getting lost. And the loss of the agrobiodiversity ultimately results in poverty. The loss of the medicinal plants and animals, which are being used from time immemorial by the human being as for the medical treatment, and these are also getting lost. So that these medicinal plants are not preserved, are not conserved, we allow to lose them, then the poverty will come. Poverty will generate. And this poverty is very much related, directly related to the health, directly to the health. The shelter, the many people, the rural people, they depend on the biological resources to construct their shelter. The bamboo and other forest products they use for constructing their shelter. If these are lost, then how they will construct their shelter? And without shelter means the poor people, poverty. So that in this way we can see if the biodiversity is getting lost, which is getting lost today, the poverty, invariably the poverty will engulf the humankind.
Hello? Can you hear me, sir?
Yes, yes.
Another question is regarding how to maintain the positive sustainability impacts on environment in the post-pandemic world.
During the pandemic, we have observed that during the lockdown period, the environment was so pure, so pure. Air quality was pure. The birds are flying, the singing, birds are singing, and the blue skies. Everybody told, and we have also observed, so that during lockdown, during this pandemic, this was happened. It is fact. And after pandemic, if really it is over, then after the pandemic is over, and then these experiences, whatever we have gained during this pandemic, are to be observed religiously. Religiously. The flying of vehicles, the number of vehicles was too small. Very few vehicles during the lockdown period. And due to that, the air quality was so developed, become very pure. And if we can maintain, not fully, partially, we can maintain that state after the pandemic is over, then certainly we should get the environment in a sustainable state, And if the environment is sustainable, then the biodiversity will live, enjoy this nature, and we, the human being and other life forms, will get the benefits from the environment as well as the biological diversity.
Sir, due to scarcity of time, we have only time left to take the last question. It is,
Yeah.
how can common man or woman conserve biodiversity in their locality? What initiatives can they also apply for conserving biodiversity?
Actually, for conservation, first thing we have to know what are to be conserved, what biodiversity are to be conserved in my area. And to know that, to get that information, first and foremost duty is to know, to identify the biodiversity which are present in my locality. The first, the person who wants to conserve the biodiversity in his locality is to make a register, an inventory of the biodiversity present there. What are the plants present? What are the animals present, domestic animals? What are the wetlands there? What are the animals there in the wetland, including fish? If forest is there, the nature of the forest, what are the animals, including the insects? I'm not going into microscopic forms. Insects which are visible. All these components, both the plants and animals, the components are to be listed. And while listing, we have to inquire and observe and to know from the local people what are the threats to the biodiversity, what are the threats to these plants, to these animals, and what are the animals present in there and their role in the livelihood of the humankind there. All these informations which are being prepared as named People's Biodiversity Register by the Biodiversity Management Committees as per the Biological Diversity Act 2002 in our country. And this work can be taken up by the local people and Biodiversity Board and the Biodiversity Management Committee, which are present in all the local levels, Gram Panchayat, Panchayat Samiti, Jilla Parishad, everywhere the Biodiversity Management Committee is present. With the help of the Biodiversity Management Committee, anybody can prepare this list and take the measures towards the conservation of biodiversity in his locality.
Thank you, sir. Thank you once again for the brilliant keynote lecture which we were all privileged to hear, and also answering the various questions regarding biodiversity and sustainability. We would now move forward in our program, and as per schedule, I would now request Dr. Sujoy Midda, Joint Organizing Secretary of this e-conference, as well as Assistant Professor and Head Department of Zoology, UG, to introduce our next speaker, Dr. UG Sakai. Dr. Midda.
Hello. Good morning to all. Welcome to all from abroad and abroad in our 2 days international e-conference on environment and sustainability. Myself, Dr. Sujoy Midda, Joint Organizing Secretary, Assistant Professor and HOD, Department of Zoology, Raja Enel Khan Women's College, Autonomous. Before starting the first plenary lecture session of the first day of this e-conference, I would like to introduce our first plenary lecture in front of our participant, that is Dr. Yuji Sakai. Dr. Yuji Sakai is Associate Professor in Department of Environmental Chemistry and Chemical Engineering, Kogakuin University, Tokyo, Japan. He received PhD degree of Engineering in Chemical Engineering from the University of Tokyo in 2003. His research focuses on the development of the environment restoration technology in China, Thailand, Australia, and Japan, and manages the environmental remediation and restoration engineering laboratory. He is a member of the Society of Chemical Engineers, Japan, the Japanese Association for Arid Land Studies, American Chemical Society, etc. At present, he is the deputy editor in the chief of journal of Arid Land Studies. Thank you. Please, Dr. Sakai.
Thank you, Dr. Minta.
Thank you.
I would now request Dr. Sakai to present his plenary lecture. Dr. Sakai. Dr. Sakai, are you able to hear us, sir? Hello? Dr. Sakai, kindly present your lecture, sir. Are you able to hear us, sir? Dr. Sakai, we were able to see your slides, sir. Dr. Sakai, we were able to see your slides, sir. Can you hear us, sir? Can you hear us, sir, Dr. Sakai?
So can you hear? Can you hear?
Yes, sir. We
Okay,
can hear you,
okay,
sir.
sorry.
Yes, sir.
So can you hear? Okay, no problem.
Yes, sir. It's clear. Okay.
Okay, no
Please-
problem.
No problem, sir. No problem, sir.
Yes, visible my slide.
Yes, sir. Your presentation is also visible, sir.
Okay, visible slide. Okay, sorry. So good morning, ladies and gentlemen. So my name is Yuji Sakai. So in Kogaku University from Tokyo, Japan. Thank you so much for inviting me. So plenary lecture this conference in India. So today I took in the titles of restoration and soil carbon sequestration as negative emission technologies. Can you hear? Okay.
We can hear you, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Okay. So at first, so as you know, so global warming is the social and environmental problem. So this figure shows observed so global temperature change and so moderate response to sterilize anthropogenic so emissions and the forcing pathway by IPCC in 2018. So human activities estimate to have caused approximately 1 degree of global warming above the pre-industrial levels, with a likely range of 0.8 to 1.2 degree. So global warming is likely to reach 1.5 degree between 2030 and 2052 if it continues to increase at the current rate. So as you know, the Paris Agreement set our global framework to avoid dangerous climate change by limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees, and so pursuing the effort to limit it to 1.5 degree. So, and the international initiative, so for PAMIL, so do you know, so for PAMIL, so initiatives launched by France on 1st so December 2015 at the COP21. So for meal solo shows this one. So this means that the annual growth rate of 0.4% in the soil carbon stocks for per meal per year in the first 30 to 40 centimeters of soil would significantly reduce the carbon dioxide concentration in the atmosphere related to human activities. So with the Paris Agreement ambition of limiting climate change to well below 2 degrees, so negative emission technologies, negative emission technologies have moved into the highlight discussions in climate science and policy. So this figure showed that negative emission technologies of taxonomy. So find out of the 7 technology clusters considered forestation and reforestation, and soil carbon sequestration, biochar, BECS. BECS means that's bioenergy with carbon capture and storage, and ocean fertilization. So use photosynthesis for capturing the carbon dioxide. So only enhancing weathering, including the ocean alkalization and the DSCCS. DSCCS means the direct air capture. So bind the carbon dioxide through chemical processes. So next explain the afforestation, reforestation, and carbon sequestration as negative emission technologies. So in this topic, it is very important. So forest play, as you know, forest plays a major role in the pledge made by countries toward meeting the Paris target. And so reforestation is a potentially large-scale method for removing carbon dioxide and storing it in the biomass of the soil and ecosystem. And so photosynthesis to carbon capture by trees. So can you hear me? Okay. The trees is likely to be among the most effective strategy to limit the rise of carbon dioxide concentration across the globe. Consequently, the amount number of international initiatives have established ambitious target to promote forest conservation, afforestation, and reforestation at the global scale. So this figure shows there's a potential carbon removal and the cost in nets. So net means there's negative emission technologies. So this red line, red line and so orange line. So red line means the afforestation and so reforestation. And so orange line means the soil carbon sequestration. So afforestation and reforestation and soil carbon sequestration can be evaluated as an effective technology in terms of cost and potential carbon removal. So today, so our research group have tackled this afforestation and or reforestation in both semi-arid area and so semi-arid area means there's a green carbon, and so wetlands. So wetlands, for example, so mangrove area. So this is blue carbon. So today, so I will talk about the carbon sequestration through rehabilitation and the restoration of degraded ecosystem. So firstly, so degraded ecosystem in arid land. So today's topics, it's a case study. So in semi-arid area, so in China. So second case is in wetland, so mangrove forest in Thailand. So at first, so we talk about this restoration and so rehabilitation of degraded ecosystem in arid land, so in China. As you know, so our planet, soil, and so threat as witnessed in the past decade by so dust bowl condition in northwest China, the desertification of grassland in Inner Mongolia, and massive dust storms across North Central Africa. So this figure shows that linkage and the feedback loop among desertification, global climate change, and biodiversity loss. So desertification is associated with biodiversity loss and contribute to global climate change through loss of carbon sequestration capacity and an increase in land surface albedo. So this figure shows that our research concept also sort of affected soil amelioration by desulfurization byproduct in China from 1996. So as you know, so in China, it's air pollution. So it's of course it's so after 20 years ago, so very serious. So air pollution is big problem. So mainly the sulfur dioxide. So in order to solve the serious air pollution and the desertification problem, so simultaneously in China, we proposed and so have been performed the salt affected soil amelioration test with desulfurization gypsum. So desulfurization gypsum, as you know, so this desulfurized gypsum contains gypsum. So this is a project. So in Shenyang, Tianjin, so in the Mongolia, so Ningxia, so many places. So China, so with research partners since 1996. So this figure shows the shape of the core biobriquette. So core biobriquette means the core and the biomass and the desulfurizer. Desulfurizer means for example, calcium hydroxide. So mixing and binding. So by high pressure, so briquetting. So and this photo showed like briquette, so core briquette. So including the biomass. So we used the so-called biobriquette and have merit. So because of this desulfurization ability. So made using low quality coal and biomass in China. So I tried to carbon sequestration due to coal biobriquette ash and CDM. So CDM means a clean development mechanism project. So I report the changes in agriculture production, soil chemical properties, and soil carbon in coal biobrigade application in northeastern part of China from 28. So this site is just called in site 1. After that, we estimate the carbon sequestration by clean development mechanism project site 2, and there's a change in carbon dioxide and sulfur dioxide emission due to the coal biobrigade manufacturing machine installation in China. We estimated. So at first, I talk about the soil amelioration result by coal biobrigade in site 1. So this field is just field 1 and field 2 and field 3 and field 4. So this figure is just very simply, this figure shows the change in corn production as the application rate in 4 field. So corn production increased with increased application rate. So in application rate is this case is maximum is 3.08%. So this one is very good production. So and co-production more than 2.08% in field 1. So in field 2 1.08%. So in field 3 there's 0.58%. So in field 4 there's 1.08%. It's a significantly different those in control plot. So this figure shows the result of the soil carbon content and soil chemical properties after amelioration in field 4. So soil carbon content indicated there's a good correlation with the corn production. So and for graph there's a correlation coefficient and level of significant among soil chemical properties. So for example, pH and net sodium concentration and carbon sulfate concentration. So this is good relationship with soil carbon content. So left upper side is graph show the changes in soil carbon content at the depth of 20 centimeters before and after. So biobrigade ash application. So this figure shows the increase in soil carbon content at the application of biobrigade 2. So 3.08% application was 21.3 ton per carbon per hectare. So about 2 times. So compared to no amendment plot. So this result mean the carbon sequestration capacity is increased. So in site 2, I checked this a small scale of restoration for desertification converting camping continent located in the northeastern part of China. So I try to planting species. So this and the mainly popular species. So this small scale reforestation CDM. So clean development mechanism project activity. So will produce about 23,000 ton carbon dioxide. So with 20 years creditating period from 23 to 2022. So this one, this case is a small case. It's getting the CDM project certification. So lastly, I talk about the integrated evaluation platform for environment improvement technology in China. So this figure is just a block diagram of the integrated model. So used to evaluate the introducing the desulfurization technology to China. So of course, this model is just model this new style of with collaborated economics model and collaborated with sulfur dioxide participant number. So collaborated. So I have the very new type of modeled case platform. So as a result, so-called biobricate manufacturing equipment is introduced into all industrial sectors, so except for coal, the coal product, steel, and the electric power section. And the coal biobricate manufacturing equipment is introduced into household use. Household use is the very serious problem. So in China, so this one, so household is indoor pollution, so sulfur dioxide. So could be calculated the result is about 12% and 4.8% reduction in carbon dioxide change rate, and 30% about the 9% reduction in sulfur dioxide change rate, so respectively. So next, lastly, I will talk about the restoration and rehabilitation degraded ecosystem in wetland. So wetlands, mangrove forest, in Thailand. So as you know, coastal wetland. So for example, mangrove, tidal marsh, and seagrass, sustain the highest rates of carbon sequestration per unit area of all natural systems. Primarily, because of their comparatively high productivity and preservation of organic carbon within sedimentary substrates. So this slide is showed as a blue carbon. So the carbon sequestered in these ecosystem, especially within mangrove forest, seagrass bed and salt marshes has been termed blue carbon. Although mangroves occupy only 0.5% of the global coastal area, they contribute to 10 to 50% to coastal sediment carbon storage and export about 10% of the particulate terrestrial carbon to the ocean. So this mangrove is very important carbon sequestration and carbon storage wetland system. So this figure shows the global distribution of mangrove. So as you know, abundant mangrove forests distribute in Southeast Asia, of course in India. So I try to in Thailand. So mangrove forest cover a large area of tropical and subtropical along the coastline in the world. So mangrove forest distributed around 15 million hectares at the estuary and the coastal of subtropical and tropical regions in the world. So this figure shows the distribution of mangrove forest area in Thailand. So out of 76 provinces in Thailand, the mangrove forest areas are distributed along the 23 provinces, consisting of 17 provinces on the Gulf of Thailand coast and 6 provinces in the Andaman Sea coast. Andaman Sea coast is the west side. So among the provinces, the South Gulf of Thailand. So my study area is the Nakhon Stamala province. Nakhon Stamala province has the largest mangrove forest area. So this table shows the extent of existing mangrove forest and other land use by different regions in 1996 compared to the original mangrove forest created in 1961. So as you know, this table shows of the total area of mangrove forest that disappeared. So 33% was converted into shrimp pond, 4% to resettlement area, and 63% were used for other purpose. So including, of course, it's agriculture, urbanization, ports and harbors. So especially, my field site is Nakhon Samarat, located in eastern and southeast areas of Thailand. The ratio of shrimp pond was higher than other areas. So this figure shows there's abundant shrimp pond in Nakhon Samarat of Thailand. So this area is my field. So shrimp farming is one of the main causes so that's led to rapid loss areas so in Nakhon province. The greatest loss of mangrove forest areas so was found in 1975. It's 45,000 hectares. So after that, so the Nakhon area province have lost and so mangrove forest area so between 1961 to 1996. So our group is so reforested and so new planting so in mangrove area. So this figure shows the so afforestation site and so this yellow so area is abandoned shrimp pond. So red line, the so red circle is the so afforested site. So we have afforested mangrove in abandoned shrimp pond so about since 1998. So mainly so reservoir macronata and so reservoir acuata. So seedling were planted is totally so about so 1,300 hectares. So now, so we checked the so mangrove afforestation, so areas, so biomass measurement and soil measurement. Of course, it's so mainly so change in soil chemical property and soil physical property and so carbon sequestration capacity. So today is just only so introducing the so total carbon stock. The this one 1, 2, 3 figures. So upper side is left side is abandoned shrimp pond area. So upper side is the right side is a new mud flat site is carbon stocks so result. So so lower side is the left side is the so natural vegetation area. So as you can see, the so the vegetation, natural vegetation areas, so very largest so carbon amount of the so red area is the so soil, so green area is the so below ground, so below ground means the root. So purple area is the so upper side above ground biomass means. So so this figure shows the so this and totally so carbon stocks in the so vegetation area is the so very largest. So and so upper side is the so our so planting site. So left side is abandoned shrimp pond. So and so horizontal line the so elapsed year. Elapsed year means the so after planting years. So this means the so 80 years. So after 80 years later, so this one so compared to so 0 years so no planting year. So compared to so total carbon stocks. So of course it so increase so above ground, so below ground biomass and soil carbon. The same is so new mud flat. So new mud flat area means the so near coastal area. So new planting. So after so 11 years later, so increased. So about it so totally so 120 so megagram so carbon per hectare. So this result shows the so carbon sequestration so in soil. Of course, it's so above ground and below ground biomass. So this result so mean that so very good so carbon sequestration and so afforestation and so reforestation is so very good so technology is so for carbon sequestration. So this figure shows the average so global carbon stocks of subtropical so tidal marsh, tropical sea ground bed, so tropical humid evergreen forest, and so tropical so peat swamp forest ecosystem compared with those of so subtropical and tropical mangroves ecosystem. So very famous researchers, so Dr. Alongi's so papers. So as you know, so check the so mangrove forest is so very largest, so average so global carbon stocks. So this and so of course it's a green area is so above ground, so purple areas are below ground. So and so soil area, so light brown, I mean the soil so carbon is also very largest amount of the so in mangrove area. So it's very important. So lastly, so this figure shows the so carbon storage and the flux in the so ecosystem. So it's necessary to so increase the carbon storage in short and long time with the rehabilitation and restoration of the degraded ecosystem in land and ocean. Thank you so much. Thank you for attention.
Thank you, Dr. Sakai. Before we begin our question answer session, Dr. Particulate Chakraborty would like to ask you a few questions related to your topic.
Hello, Dr. Sakai. Hello.
Hello.
Hi,
Hello.
how are you?
So Professor Chakraborty, how are you? How are you?
Fine. I am fine. How are you? How are you?
Of course, I'm fine.
Yes, okay. I'm very glad too that you have responded my request, and I have some queries. I have some queries about your lecture. Number one, in the agroecosystems, we are applying the manual organic fertilizer as well as inorganic chemical fertilizer.
Yes.
And these are the trade responsible to have an impact on the carbon sequestration in the soil. In the soil, because if you have manure in the soil, the microbial population always increase. If the microbial population increase, then the organic carbon or carbon pool will be increased. I think so. I think so. And what's the view about that? All the vegetation, you were telling that vegetation is responsible to increase the carbon pool or carbon sequestration in the soil, upper layer or deep layer. But what's your view? All the plants are responsible for this purpose? All the vegetations? Some selected vegetations, selected plants are responsible to increase the carbon pool of the soil.
Yes.
Is it clear?
Yes. So you are right. So this one, so in mangrove soil is a special soil. So special soil means so water lodged soil is the so biodiversity, so biological so activities are low. Okay. So low biological activity, the so not carbon emission, the so decrease. So water lodged soil so environment is very important for sequestration carbon storage.
Yes.
Okay.
Right.
So this one, so in mangrove area is so very specific so soil area. So I am so very interested in so this one soil carbon sequestration mechanism. So yes, for example, soil physical properties, soil chemical properties. So with so carbon sequestration capacities, so checked, I rechecked. So this one, so I submitted so new papers. So to so for example, of course. So
and I would like to do some work on in Sundarban mangrove. What you are doing? You are doing? You already told me that you are very interested to do work with me. That's what you are doing.
So in India, so western area apparently there's a very famous mangrove area.
Yes,
so very near place.
Town. Yes, it's very near Sundarban. Very good mangrove vegetation.
So I will collaborate with you. So about the so carbon sequestration in mangrove area, so in India. So and so very important so field. So for your specific field, for your specific zoology, zoology means so including so microorganisms. So you check so in soil is so microorganic. So microorganism or so And so
There are so many microorganisms that they are responsible directly
Yeah.
or indirectly to increase the carbon sequestration in the soil.
Yeah.
So I can do that particular part.
Yeah, so in checking the sustainability and ecosystem in mangrove area, so
Yes.
it's very important to just check the
Yeah.
biodiversity and microorganism and so on. So
Yeah.
yes, so of course I will check. I can check just soil physical, soil chemical, and above ground and biomass area, and carbon calculation means that for example yes for example carbon stocks
Carbon stock.
yes
Yeah.
so yes I systemize the carbon calculating system and model and is no problem for me and we check it the microorganism and the geology area geology field in mangrove. So it's a very good topic and have originality in this field. Yeah, I think.
So okay. We'll say we are prepare the project now.
Yeah.
And then we both of us will prepare a project.
Yeah.
Both of us will prepare a project.
Yeah.
And we have to, both of us will prepare a project.
Okay.
In this particular system, in this particular aspect. This is very important aspect.
Yes, I think so.
Okay, then I'll talk.
So
Yes?
next time I will go. So
Dr. Sakai, we would now like to bring in the question and answer session. If you permit, then we can start, Sakai.
Yeah.
Okay.
A question is regarding how, if a developing nation wants to achieve goals for climate and economic growth, then which type of negative emission technologies should they adopt, considering their infrastructure facilities and their economic strength?
Okay. Yes, it's a very good question. So firstly, I talk about the negative emission technologies. So this slide, can you see? So this slide is show that seven technologies. So this one, afforestation and reforestation and soil carbon sequestration is very cheap and very easy to introduce for capturing the carbon capture. So other technique is very costly, high level, and there's many difficulty in introducing. So this one easy to introduce it as afforestation and reforestation. So carbon sequestration is very good. So of course it is all over the world. So in India.
Next is regarding the afforestation strategies for sequestration of carbon. What plant species or what trees may be looked upon, because it would be different from in India, it would be different in China, it would be different in the USA. So more or less, on which plant species should we focus?
Yes. So very important. So this one very important to select native trees, native species. So native species there's very effective for planting this area. So for example, in China, desertification area. So this area, the desertification area, this one we selected mainly popular species. Of course, in Thailand, this mangrove areas, we check the various species, 3 species of mangrove. So lastly, originally, native species in trees. So I selected Rhizophora macronata and Rhizophora particulata is very good. So species for carbon sequestration and good growth in this area. So next, after that, so you will check it. So at first, so original species in India. Okay, so in mangrove area, so you will check it as original species. So if you will so reforestation and afforestation, so you selected so this original species of trees.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. The last question is regarding have you seen any effect of this pandemic situation on carbon sequestration? Or what has been the effect of
Mhm.
this COVID-19 uh, period over carbon sequestration throughout the world?
Mhm. So yeah, so as you know, so this and the carbon storage and the carbon flux is a very is important for the global warming. So I will check. So I check that so this one so land and so sea area so and so wetland and just dry land. So I will check. I check that so land so forest so area and so ocean areas so carbon so check carbon storage and so carbon cycle. So we check it that so carbon storage and so flux is so very important for global warming. So uh, so this area for carbon so storage and so flux.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, check
Thank
here. Okay.
Thank you, sir, for your wonderful, informative plenary lecture, which we all listened to, as well as to share with us some innovative strategies which we can adopt, and also for answering each of our queries and questions. Thank you, sir, once again. I would now like to proceed further
Mhm.
in our schedule of activities. Next, we have the paper presentation session, which would
Mhm.
be coordinated by Dr. Tilak Das, state approved college teacher of Department of Zoology, UG and PG. For this particular session, I would request both Dr. Sakai and Dr. Vignudeli to chair the session along with Dr. Parthupratim Chakraborty. And if you would kindly permit, then and agree, then we would proceed to the next session of paper presentation by participants who had been whose work has been accepted to present in today's session. I would now
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.
thank you, sir. I would now request Dr. Tilak Dash to coordinate the paper presentation
Okay.
session.
Thank you, madam. Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you all for finding time and visiting today's e-conference on environment and sustainability. My name is Dr. Tilak Das, and I am the host of this session one for paper presentation. A very warm welcome to all. It's a wonderful day, and I feel privileged to extend my warm welcome to all presented here and all the dignitaries who presented, Professor Shannal sir, Dr. Sakai, and Dr. Parthupratim Chakraborty. I would request them to chair this session. I welcome all you, sir. Just a little housekeeping before we get started. To the audiences, if you have any questions or clarification, please don't ask the question during the presentation. It will be discussed at the end of each presentation. And to keep the quality of sound function during the meeting, it's our humble request to all, please mute yourself until you wish to ask question or your active participation. You can send the question as you are doing through the message too. Now, without further ado, we'll turn the time over today's first presenter, of this session, Dr. Sumanko Sannal, Research Scientist, International Institute of Innovation and Technology, Kolkata, requesting you to present your topic, which is very much relevant with present scenario of pandemic situation, entitled Impact of COVID-19 on Environmental Health, a Review. Over to Dr. Shomanko Sannal, please.
Yeah, everybody can hear me?
Yes. Yes, Sumanko.
Okay. Thank you and good afternoon to all the dignitaries. Dr. A.K. Shanal, Chairman and Chief Patron, West Bengal Biodiversity Board, Dr. Joyashree Alaha, Patron, Dr. Particulate Chakraborty, Organizing Secretary of this e-conference, and all the other dignitaries. So, thank you for inviting me and giving me a chance to speak on this two-day international e-conference. My topic of presentation is impact of COVID-19 on environmental health, and I've selected to give this speech and make it on a review. As we all know that we are. Is my presentation visible?
Yes. Sumanko,
Okay,
carry on.
thank you. Okay. Uh, as we all know that we are going through very grave pandemic situation. So
এই প্রবলেমটা ওদের ওখান থেকে
I have
হচ্ছে
made a very small and simple presentation on that. So the introduction is that this pandemic actually broke out in December 2019 in Wuhan city in China. With a link to the animal market, and then it spread like a wildfire. It's spread like a wildfire among the population in China. And according to WHO 2020, this year, this coronavirus affected almost the entire planet, including 216 countries, and with an unprecedented and irreversible impact. And its impact is still ongoing. Mortalities are happening, and the virus is being spread throughout the countries and the populations worldwide. And however, the new dynamics of the outbreaks have been seen variable amongst different countries, like the Latin American countries, the Asian countries, and the most of the European countries. The algorithm out of it. A virus called SARS-CoV. We have seen that previous strain out in the year 2002, 2003, and at that time the mortality around 8,000 people around the world got affected, and the mortality.
I think probably due to a technical glitch, he has left. Then he will again rejoin.
Hello, Rashmi madam.
Yes, Dr. Dash, please tell me, sir.
That Sumanko's word is not audible, no?
I think probably he's having some network issue over his end. What we can
Okay.
do is that we can
Ask for next
proceed with the
presenter.
program. Next presenter, next speaker.
Okay. Oh,
By
okay,
that
madam.
time, he might have solved his problem.
Okay, okay, madam. Thank you. Thanks a lot. Okay. Due to that technical error that is happened. Uh, okay. So we can go for next presentation. So according to do that. We know to achieve sustainable development, one of the important strategy is to control pollution. If pollution is less, then it will be absorbed by the environment itself. So balance should be maintained between the pollution and absorption. Fish disease is unavoidable episode in this sector, and use of chemicals to eradicate it increase the pollution load in nature. So, use of plant extract would be the best alternative to cure the fish disease as well as to conserve our nature. With this background, I would request to Salma Hawk to present their work entitled Potential of Plant Extract Against Parasitic Diseases of Freshwater Fishes. Please, you can start, Salma Hawk. Salma Hawk, you can start your presentation.
Paper presenters are requested. Paper presenters are requested to be ready and present as soon as Dr. Das indicates to them in order for successful carrying out the paper presentation session.
I think Salma Hawk is absent.
Then I have to ask the presenters who are present today, because if you are present, then we can carry out our program. Otherwise, it won't be possible.
Sir, please carry forward, sir.
Because I don't know who are present, because
In the meeting,
only.
Dr. Mrinmoy Dharai Mamta Khatun is present.
Okay, okay,
You
okay,
can see
okay,
them in the participant list, sir.
okay, okay, okay. I'll see who are present. According to them, I will ask them.
Chandan Kumar Poti is present.
Sir Mumtaz Kha, sir Mum, sir Mum, sir Mum, sir Mumtaz Khatun is present. So now I would request to Mumtaz Khatun to present your paper, that is on environmental pollution and reclamation, a role for bioremediation.
Okay, sir. At first, very good afternoon to all, and it's a great pleasure to me to present my paper in such a platform, that is today e-conference on environment and sustainability. We also thanks the chair session, Sir Dr. Sanil sir, Sakri sir, and Parthu sir. Now we start our today presentation. So my screen is visible?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
Yes, you can start.
Yes, sir. Yes. So today, International In Conference on Environment and Sustainability, organized by Department of Zoology, EC and PG in association with Internal Quality Assurance Cell, and in collaboration with West Bengal Biodiversity Board. The title of this presentation on that day, Environmental Pollution and Reclamation, a Role for Bioremediation. Myself, Mumtaz Khatu, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Egra Sharada Shashibhushan College, Egra. Next. At first, what is bioremediation? Bioremediation is defined as the process whereby mostly organic wastes can be biologically degraded under controlled conditions to an innocuous state or to levels below the respective concentration limits as set by the controlling authorities. In other words, bioremediation employs the living organisms, most notably microorganisms, to degrade the pollutants and convert them into less toxic or non-toxic form. The suitable organisms can be bacteria, fungi, or plants, which have the physiological ability to degrade, detoxify, or render the contaminant harmless. Next. The objective of bioremediation is the goal of bioremediation is to at least reduce pollutant levels to undetectable, non-toxic, or acceptable levels. That is, to within limits set by regulatory agencies, or ideally, to completely mineralize organopollutants to carbon dioxide. Next. This is the principle of bioremediation. At first, bioremediation relies on stimulating the growth of certain microbes that use contaminants like oil, solvents, and pesticides as a source of food and energy. These microbes consume the contaminants, converting them into small amounts of water and harmless gases, carbon dioxide. Effective bioremediation needs a combination of the right temperature, nutrients, and food. Otherwise, it may take much longer for the cleanup of contaminants. If conditions are not favorable for bioremediation, they can be improved by adding amendments to the environment or simply air. Next, there are triple corner process of bioremediation, that is environment, organisms, pollutants. Pollutants may be divided into inorganic and organic substances. Organic substances may be divided solid, liquid, and gas phase. And in our environments, there are three types of feature is present: soil, water, and air. And we see the organism feature, that is microorganisms, plants, and enzymes are present in our environment. Next, the present place in the bioremediation in the world. The past century witnessed a vast increase in global pollution. Industrial development, population growth, urbanization, and disregard for the environmental consequences of releasing chemicals into the environment all contributed to the modern pollution situation. A huge range of industries, including most notably the oil and gas industry, contributed to the problem. There was a large increase in the diversity of organic compounds that are industrially produced and which were carelessly released into the environment. Next, what is priority of pollutants? The priority of pollutants that is mentioned here as part of the 1977 amendments to the Clean Water Act, the US EPA developed a list of the common industrial pollutants that pose an imminent threat to public health and the environment. The list contains 114 organic compounds and 13 metals out of a total of 129 pollutants, which have become known as the priority pollutants. These priority pollutants, along with petroleum, have become the main focus of emergency management. The major criteria used in selecting priority pollutants are as follows: that is, human toxicity, likely presence in significant concentration on land affected by post or current industrial use, toxicity in plants and animals, potential for bioaccumulation and biomagnification, mobility in the environment, for example, stability and volatilization, and environmental persistence. Next, there are many organisms which mostly help to remove the waste product and any other pollutant or toxicity material from environment. Such an important organism is bacteria. Uh, these bacteria function this organism in such a manner, and the characteristic to sustain their environment, that is in our anaerobic or aerobic metabolism, involve oxidation and reduction reactions or redox reactions for detoxification. Oxygen could be reduced to water and oxidized organic compounds. Anaerobic reaction can use nitrate. In return, biomass is gained for bacterial or fungal growth. In many cases, combined efforts are needed. Indigenous microbes found naturally in polluted sites are useful. Use of bacteria in bioremediation. Greatly affected by unstable climatic and environmental factors from moisture to temperature. For example, pH in soil is slightly acidic. Petroleum hydrocarbon degrading bacteria do not work well less than 10 degrees centigrade. These microbes are usually thermophilic anaerobic. Fertilizers are needed. Seedling or bioaugmentation could be useful too. They contain monooxygenases and dehydrogenases to break down organic matters, include most toxic substances. Next. Fungi is an important role in bioremediation technology, such as Candida can degrade formaldehyde type compound, Gipperella can degrade cyanide, slurry phase bioremediation is useful too, but only for small amounts of contaminated oil. And the another fungi, that is white rot fungi. The scientific name of this fungi is Phanerochaete chrysosporia. It is an important fungi, is used in bioremediation technology. Phanerochaete chrysosporium is the model white rot fungus because of its specialized ability to degrade the abundant aromatic polymer lignin, which leaving the white cellulose nearly untouched material. And this type of fungi releases extracellular enzymes, are non-specific oxidizing agents, that is hydrogen peroxide, hydroxyl radicals used to cleave the lignin bonds. So this fungi has ability to degrade. Extensive research is seeking ways to understand the mechanism in order to enhance the bioremediation of a diverse range of pollutants. It's degraded pentachlorophenol, dichlorophenyl trichloroethane, that is DDT, and even TNT, that is trinitrotoluene. Next. Here we categorized some industrial land uses and some soil contaminants material. There is 3 categorized: high, moderate, and poor. The first category is high. We divided to certain groups: land use and category of contamination and types of contamination. Here O and I indicates organic and inorganic. Some compounds, that is hazardous waste treatment, which is under organic, or either inorganic compounds. Fine chemicals under organic, coal gasification under organic and inorganic, integrated iron and steel under organic and inorganic, oil refining and petrochemical under organic and inorganic, and such as pesticides and pharmaceutical under organic compound. Next, continue to table 1. The moderate category, fertilizer production, that is under inorganic compound, wood, preservatives, and electrical equipment under organic compound, minerals and power stations under inorganic compound, shipbuilding and tires also organic and inorganic compound, pulp and paper is under organic compound. And category 3rd, that is low, animal processing under organic, glass goods, that is under inorganic compounds, printing, airports, railways, and dry cleaners under organic compound. It's a review work, so this divide this material collected from work of Young et al. Next, bioremediation technique. We know we divide bioremediation technique in 2 parts: ex situ and in situ. Under ex situ technique, that is biofile, windrow, bioreactor, and plant farming. And under in situ technique, natural attenuation, enhanced bio, and under enhanced technique, bioslapping, bioventing, biospersing, phytoremediation, permeable reactant barrier. Here we discussed in a brief bioreactor. This is the instrument, biofile, and the process of biofile and bioslurry reactor. Bioreactor means biodegradation in a container or reactor may be used to treat several liquid wastes or slurries. Rapid degradation, kinetics, but relatively high capital and operational cost. In this table, we show that the bioreactor based bioreactor can remove such type of bioreactor based, that is star tank bioreactor. Nature of sample: crude oil pollutant sediment. Nature of pollutant: total petroleum and polyaromatic hydrocarbons. Star tank bioreactor batch. Nature of sample is waste lubricating oil and saturated and aromatic hydrocarbons, type of pollutant. Anaerobic sludge blanket, continuous flow. Nature of sample is synthetic BTX contaminated water, that is benzene, toluene, ethyl benzene, and xylene, that is BTEX type of pollutant. Membrane bioreactor. Nature of sample is coal gasification wastewater. The nature of pollutant: naphthalene and total nitrogen. Glass jar paddle type of impeller reactor is contaminated soil. 2,4,6 trinitrophenyl methyl intramine, that is tetrail. Next, and the in situ technique I mentioned here, phytoremediation. Phytoremediation is use of plants for accumulation, removal, or conversion of pollutants. There are such methodology used in phytoremediation, that is phytostabilization, phytovolatilization, phytostimulation, phytoextraction, and phytotransformation. Here, in such a manner, the phytoremediation technique is used to remove very metallic compound. There are many plants which is used to remedies the metallic compound from our environment, and which is harmful to our environment and our plant in our soil combination, such as approximately 400 plant species have been classified as hyperaccumulators of heavy metals such as grasses, sunflower, corn, hemp, that is the hemp tree, flax, alfalfa, that is the alfalfa, tobacco, willow, that is the willow tree, and Indian mustard, poplar, that is the poplar tree, and water hyacinth, that is the water hyacinth. This water hyacinth, that is Iconia crassipes, grow in much amount in our neighboring pond. It's a great role in bioremediation, that is it's absorb heavy metals, iron, zinc, cadmium, copper, boron, and chromium through rhiizofiltration mechanism, and 3-hour environment heavy metal and the alfalfa. It is a grass. It's consume different anthracene and fluorine, and remove this type of organic compound from our environment through phytostimulation mechanism, and also a Dracaena reflexa, one type of plant that is used to remove diesel or to phytoremediate diesel through this phytoremediation mechanism. Dracaena is used, and another plant, that is Agiceras, Spartina, Arundocdonax, etc. It is to consume heavy metal from soil part. Next, in our environment, there is heavy metals is present in very amount. Metals and their derivatives are small group of elements in our environment. Only about 30 metals are used.
You'll get only 1 minute time more.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir. So this type of technique is used to remove such type of metal in our environment. Metal immobilization and solubilization by releasing such as organic acids, siderophytes, and root exudates are used, and the such precipitation technique, hydrogen sulfide potassium bacteria, siderophore, metal reduction and completion, that is bioaccumulation or biosubstance, exopolysaccharide, and lipoproteins. Next. Bioremediation is the key focus area of environmental sustainability. We need to clean the mess created by anthropogenic activities through green technologies, so sustainable planet to the future generation. Some information to prepare this presentation, and almost thank you. So
Thank you, madam, for your valuable information. Now the topic is open for discussion.
okay, sir.
So any question or any queries from audience side?
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mumtaz.
Yes, sir.
Mumtaz Khatun. Yes, I have some queries. I
Yes.
think there is no question from the audience. I don't know. Dr. Das can able to say whether any question from the audience.
Okay,
But
sir.
I have one question, is that you are going to present your paper national conference, not in a classroom. Your presentation like a classroom lecture. I don't know whether you have conducted any experiment with the bioremediation. Yes or no, I don't know. But this type of presentation in an international arena conference, I don't like it. This is my first question. Second one, you are talking about the different plant species and fungi. They are responsible for the bioremediation. And now my question is that what is the role of the biotechnology in the bioremediation processes? Is there any experiments are conducted by any scientist, biotechnological experiment, to say that by this process we can clean the environment? Have you any idea?
No, sir, I am not conduct this regarding this biotechnological topic to irradiate this.
Because you know that is
pollutant.
this is bioremediation at present scenario. Is the biotechnology is one of the most important tools to establish the bioremediation processes. I think you heard the name the Pseudomonas putida? Have
Yes,
you heard
sir.
the name?
Yes, yes.
Yes. Who have discovered it? Do you know who have discovered it?
Andaman, sir.
Anandamohan Chakravarti. Don't say Anandamohan. He's a great man.
Yes, sir.
He has died on such a last year, I think so. So you have to mention all these things, and if you are interested, please carry on some research work, do some work in your lab. Don't present this type of presentation. It is a just class-like presentation. All we are sitting here, we are not the students. We are not the students. So this is not encouraging. So I have no question now. You please remember it. Okay?
Okay, sir.
Now, Dr. Dash.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Basically, we are searching for those presenters who have done their research work, and we look forward to see their result and what way that enhances the environment sustainability.
Yes, that is that most important.
Yeah, that is our motto. So basically, we are looking for that. Now yes, sir. Thanks a lot, sir. Now
Somanko is ready. Somanko is ready now. Somanko is ready.
Okay. Due to the technical problem, Somanko, we could not continue. So again, I would request that carry forward your presentation from the beginning itself. Okay, thanks a lot. Please, Somanko.
Dr. Shomanku, you are not audible. Kindly check whether you have please unmute yourself.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Please carry on. Start. Please carry on.
Is my presentation visible?
Yes.
Okay. Thank you for giving me an opportunity, second opportunity to present my topic. Good afternoon to all the dignitaries present. Today my topic of presentation is impact of COVID-19 on environmental health, which is a very burning topic, and we are all going through tough times. So let me give a short introduction that COVID-19, this pandemic, this viral outbreak happened in December 2019 in Wuhan city, in an animal market, and then it got infected into the living population in the Wuhan city in China. And according to World Health Organization 2020, this new strain of COVID coronavirus, that is SARS-CoV-2, has infected almost the entire world, including 216 countries, and with an irreversible and unprecedented impact. and the data of this infected virus is we have seen that it has been varied from countries to countries. So it's really tough to come to any conclusion with the data, because it keeps changing from day to day, from the outbreak till now. So we can't really develop a model of an algorithm out of it. So COVID-19 is an acute viral illness caused by this virus SARS-CoV-2, and the symptoms are severe, mainly fever, cough, or respiratory diseases with pneumonia and hypoxemia. And currently, most of the countries, although the lockdown is over, most of the countries implemented strict lockdown. Am I audible?
Yes, yes, you are audible, Sumanko. Please carry on.
Okay. These countries implemented strict lockdown measures in the governments implemented strict lockdown measures in their countries with screening tests, with social distancing, and the governments are still advising the population to wear masks and maintain physical distancing and use hand sanitizers and soaps to reduce the infection rate. So there are some factors which are responsible for the viral transmission in almost in every countries, and especially in the urban areas. The primary factor is the air quality. As we all know, that particulate matter in the surrounding atmosphere acts as a carrier of transport vector, increasing the effectiveness of and persistency of the viruses in aerosol, creating a microenvironment. Chen et al. In 2010 showed us the positive correlation between the particulate matter and the measles virus transmission, which in cases by several mechanisms, one of which is the binding of the viruses with the particulate matter particles in ambient climatic conditions. Particulate matter population, the spread of this virus in the population, several studies have been conducted in different areas of the world, and there has been many data which have concluded that the rapid increase in COVID-19 contagion is correlated to a greater level of air pollution, which means a greater level of particulate matter in environment. Now, Pansini and Fornaca 2020, associating several annual satellites and ground indexes in air quality in China, Iran, Italy, and Spain, and several European countries and USA with the COVID-19 infection, found that a statistically significant correlation exists between the higher level of air pollution and COVID-19 infections. And Wu et al. In this year, in a paper, have shown that 1 microgram per meter cube increase in long-term exposure of particulate matter 2.5 associated with a 15% increase in the COVID-19 mortality rate. Now, the results suggested that the long-term exposure to air pollution increases vulnerability to the occurrence of most severe COVID-19 results. And these findings are in line with the known relationship between PM 2.5 exposure and many of the cardiovascular and respiratory comorbidities that are significantly increasing the health risk in COVID-19 patients. Now, the second relationship is between the atmosphere temperature and humidity. Now, we all know that SARS outbreak has always been associated with temperature and its variations. Back in 2002 and 2003, there were another SARS outbreak around the world, which almost infected 8,000 people with mortality rate of almost 9.6%. And that was also a coronavirus outbreak, we can technically say that. And at that time also, there was a relationship between the low temperature and humidity, which provided a favorable condition for the survival and spreading of the virus. And cold conditions can reduce the supply of blood immune system in the nasal mucosa, region of the virus in human body, and low relative humidity can reduce the capacity of cilia cells in our nasopharyngeal region to remove the virus particles. And also, low humidity environments like unhygienic environments in most of the tropical countries and tropical cities where poverty is at large, people live in a very unhygienic condition, and which can impair the innate immune defense system, making the population very vulnerable to the virus infection, especially the slum areas, the cities which harbors the one of the biggest slum areas in in Asia, like Kolkata and Mumbai. Temperature range also have a positive association with the daily mortality of from COVID-19. So there is a concept that tropical climate delays the onset of converted COVID-19 positive cases in compared to temperate climatic countries. But meteorological data from 122 cities of China and other papers have also shown from other urban areas from across Europe and America that there is no evidence that COVID-19 cases would reduce in warmer weather. On the contrary, it has shown that below 3 degrees centigrade, 1 degree rise in mean temperature was almost associated with almost approximately 5% increase in daily confirmed cases. So, significant association between average temperature, minimum temperature, and air quality with the spread of the disease was found, but no evidence was obtained from these studies that warmer weather suppresses the real reason of these reasons, where the studies gave different data in different countries, where at the time where these studies were took place, studies were carried out, there were very distinct data sets. Because we have seen during the lockdown period in the initiation of the outbreak, and still now that the data are keep on changing day to day. Population size and the density of the population were two important factors which gave very different results in the different cities and parts of the world. So another factor is that waste increase and reduction in waste management has happened due to this coronavirus outbreak and due to this long prolonged lockdown period. So since the government have implemented the quarantine policies, the population and the masses were have to stay inside their houses, and they automatically switch to online marketing for their food materials, vegetables, fish, and it's an online food for their survival, day-to-day survival, which increase in the organic and inorganic waste from households and other populated areas where human habitation is there. And also ship packed food purchased online.
1 minute more.
Okay, sir, I'm almost done. And medical waste has also been increased in all over the world. There is an example of China in 240 metric tons has been of waste has been produced compared to their normal of 50 tons. So waste cycling has also been reduced all over the world, because all the countries of USA and Europe has totally shut down their recycling centers due to the COVID-19 threat. So finally, some positive impacts that during the COVID-19 particulate matter NO2 concentration has reduced all over the world. We have now pristine and clear around us, and all the pond ecosystems, beach ecosystems, marine ecosystems are also being come to a normal state due to less and less pollution, and also the noise pollution has reduced to its minimum level because of this lockdown and pandemic situation. And finally, I can say that people are not really aware, masses are not really aware of this, the government advises of the wearing masks, using sanitizers, and all over the world there are, America, in countries like America, there are anti-mask campaigning. We have shown some very viral videos, which is the cause of concern, and we should abide by these government advices to spread this infection of the virus like a wildfire, if we want to get back to our normal life and give our future generations a better place to survive on this earth. So thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sumanko, for your presentation, which are very relevant in recent days. And whatever you have pointed out, these are all correct because wearing mask can prevent that spreading of that COVID-19. But
Yes.
people are not using that. That's
Hmm.
true. Okay, thanks a lot for your presentation once again. Now that your topic is open for discussion, so if anybody is having any questions, so you should ready for that answer.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
Hello, Dr.
So please,
Sakai. Dr. Sakai. Hello, Dr. Sakai. Hello, Dr. Sakai.
Hello. Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Sakai. Have you any suggestion? Have you any question? Please.
It's very so yeah. so so co- so in Japan the so COVID-19 the so very strict measurement so for wearing the so mask and the so no crowded so people so for example there's a shop and there's drinking and there's a bar and so in India so now there's a measurement so for COVID-19 so it's used in India. So
in India, that instructions are given to all the citizens, but peoples are not aware. Not all the some people they are not using the mask. They are not using the sanitizer. As a result, last couple of days we have noticed that infection rate is the top in the world. That is in India.
Oh, okay.
That's the problem.
Yes, sir. Actually, sir, public awareness is a cause of high concern in our country because our country is a very populous country, and the government doesn't have really the infrastructure to go to door to door and giving advice to all the people. So, but it is doing its best. Through printing and electronic media to aware the public about the consequences of not following the government advices and use of masks and hand sanitizers and soaps and keeping personal hygiene and maintaining physical distances, avoiding any public gatherings. So it's doing its best, but the rest is upon the common masses. Whether they should follow the advices or not. So as you know that in West Bengal, Durga Puja is coming and it's one of the biggest festivals in India. So public gatherings are automatically happen. Recently, there is a viral picture over all of the social media that one of the footwear stores, there were almost 1,000 to 1,500 people gathering inside a claustrophobic environment inside a footwear store. So it could trigger the rate of infection of this COVID-19. But if the ordinary mass is not aware of the consequences of this pandemic, so government doesn't. Government becomes helpless at one point of time.
Okay, Somanko, thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
Somanko,
Thank you.
Thank you.
Sir.
Next, Dr.
Okay.
Das.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Environmental sustainability is the state which meets the human needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generation to meet their own needs. We have mainly three sectors. They are agriculture sector, manufacture sector, and service sector in our society, where all sectors should be in a position to maintain the flow of services over time. In agricultural sector, in order to get the resources in future generation, we need to storage our plant seed and improve their germination ability. Now I would like to request Chandan Kumar Poti to present his work on potentiation of a grass species under stressful storage environment. Please, Dr. Chandan Kumar Pati.
Good afternoon, respected organizer and learned my colleague participants. Myself is Dr. Chandan Kumar Pati, Assistant Professor, Department of Botany, Saldia College, going to present the paper entitled Seed Potential of a Grass Species under Stressful Storage Environment. Sir, may I audible to you?
Yes, you can continue.
Yes. Sir, my screen is visible.
Just a sec.
Sir, my screen is visible.
1 minute, wait, 1 minute.
Not visible.
Not visible.
Sir, I am presenting, but why not it is saying?
No, it's not visible.
Present now.
Please share your screen.
Yes, sir, I am sharing. Na? So now it is visible?
No.
Why not, sir? Sir, is it visible?
Botany part 3, yes.
Sir, it
Yes.
is visible?
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, sir, for giving me the opportunity to present my paper as oral presentation. Title of my paper is Potentiation of a Grass Species under Stressful Storage Environment. Actually, regarding the objective of my work is that pulses, all of you know that pulses are the important world food crops as they provide inexpensive amount of heat and dietary protein and plays the beneficial role in sustainable agriculture. As they are cheaper than the meat, and in the developing country like India, more than 80% people are vegetarian in dietary habit. That pulses are also called as the poor man's meat, particularly in the developing country like India. Pulses are the group of crops of legume family, which with the help of rhizobacterium-like bacteria, they fix atmospheric nitrogen and enhance the soil productivity also. And all of you know that seeds are the most important germplasm and basic input in agriculture. And modern agriculture with its bias technology and precision demand that seeds should be of high vigor and can germinate at any time as per the desire of the cultivators or farmers. A few decades ago also, Indian farmer grew about 30,000 variety of the rice. However, due to the different natural calamities, the varieties have been lost because of no technology of the seed preservation. And this is the basic problem of the seed storage, that post-harvest storage of the seeds under ambient agroclimatic condition, particularly in the high temperature and high relative humidity, during the major part of the year in the Indian agroclimatic condition is a major serious problem for the agriculturist. If we go back to the Rig Veda, it is also mentioned there that good seeds in good land is abundant. In Bible, it is also mentioned, sir, care with the seeds, joy with the harvest. And in regarding the African Revolution, Dr. M.S. Swaminathan has made one quotation which was published in the 2009, 18 August in the Statesman paper, which I am displaying. Now, so just if we go to the history of the destruction of the crop seeds in different years, because of the different natural calamities, different crops has been lost. Objective, keeping the problem of the seed vigor in any agricultural condition, my objective is that during high temperature and high relative humidity, I have to prolong the lifespan of a grass seed species who is having the viability problems using some herbal extracts. And I have taken the Osimang sanctum, the tulsi leaf, and bell leaf extract, and devise a cost-effective technique which can be easily operated by the normal farmers in our country, rather to say in our state. And to prove the efficacy of the accelerated aging technique for expeditious and to get the accurate results. Keeping the objective in mind, I have collected the grass pea seeds from the authentic seed storage from State Seeds Corporation Limited, Murshidabad. The variety was grass pea. BR13 variety actually it was also. And after proper surface sterilization as per the recommendation of the ISTA, International Seed Testing Association, by using 0.1% mercury chloride for 90 seconds, the seeds were pre-treated with the leaf extract of the osmium and Agil marmelos. This is the bale, and thereafter it imposed the accelerated aging and different parameters like physio-biochemical parameters were analyzed to study the healthy status of the seeds. While I have studied the percentage of seed germination and time required for 50% of seed germination, the results reflected that in case of the treated seeds with the herbal extract, get the maximum good results. Percent of germination is much higher, T50 is also much less, which is the indices, international indices to prove the healthy status of the seeds. The same result I obtained in case of protein and insoluble carbohydrate. These are called the storage component of the seeds. With the maximum protein and insoluble carbohydrate will be retained in the seed, which enable the seed to enhance the lifespan for the more than expected period, which I have achieved in the experiments. And we know the enzyme catalase is the scavenger enzyme. More activity of the catalase gives the better healthy status of the seeds. In case of the amylase, a reverse result, because amylase is the anabolic enzyme. Maximum activity of the amylase causes the destruction of the protein content within the seeds. So objective should be reduce the amylase activity, enhance the catalase activity, and the experimental treating reagents enhance the catalase activity and reduce the amylase activity in comparison to control one. And my result is that the data clearly reveal that pre-treatment of the seed species with the leaf extract of the osmium and agils enhance the seed germination percentage, reduce the T50 percentage, alleviated the loss of protein and insoluble carbohydrate, as well as aging induced of the catalase enzyme and stimulation of the amylase enzyme. However, the magnitude of the declining was found to be much less in case of the pre-treated seeds in comparison to control. Then achievement can be made that accelerated aging technique efficiently and accurately determine the deterioration level of the seeds in a short periods under storage, and the herbal manipulation technique is effective for maintenance of storage potential of the pea seeds for longer periods. The test plant extracts can be harden the seeds, thereby causing less susceptible toward the deterioration, particularly under accelerated aging condition. And I do hope the technique device is very simple, handy, low cost, eco-friendly for the common cultivators. Conclusion, sir, considering the herbal-induced overall changes on germination behavior, metabolism, and growth, it can conclude that experimental plant extract can be used as a potent herbal agent for maintaining the seeds and plant potential for the experimental seed species under stressful storage condition. And I do hope again, this work has immense significance from the commercial point of view in addition to some commercial interest. This is one of my book. I have been published in the Lombard Academy publisher regarding the seed storage potentiation, which is available in the Amazon also. Research I can interest, and these are my international links. I am acting as the editorial board members and associate editors of different journals. I do request
Dr.
to the
Poti,
researchers to publish the papers if they have
Okay. So your presentation is over. Now that topic is open for discussion.
Thank you.
Hello. No, Dr. Stefano. Hello, Dr. Stefano. Hello, Dr. Stefano. Are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Yes.
Hello, Dr. Stefano. Any queries, any questions? Please ask.
Yeah, okay. This is not my field, but I'm really interested in knowing that maybe different communities can, because what I realized from the previous presentation is that one of the important aspects is to sustainable development. So how do we measure? How do we track, to monitor? So of course there are a lot of surveys that normally are done with typical traditional methods, but when you want to extend these surveys in a large scale, I think we need to use different approaches. And in fact, tomorrow I want to show you that remote sensing is one possible tool that could be very useful to answer some questions that were raised today in the various presentations. So I'm not an expert in the field. Also, I question that I could make to the presenter. I'm very impressed about the activities they are doing in the field. You hear me?
Yes. Okay, thank you, Dr. Stefano.
Yeah, point about the previous talk about the pandemic spreading. So they seem difficult, people don't use masks, don't keep distance. I think the problem is not only in India, is in all the countries, because of course there are
Yes.
where are they not? So you mean the virus is not moving alone? No, it's not walking.
Yes.
So that is the problem, especially in the crowded areas. Even when you walk in a street, if there are too many people in the street, it's a problem. So I don't think the problem is only in India. It's everywhere. Even here now here the situation is becoming in Europe very worse.
Yes,
because we had the first wave stopped during the summer, and now it seems again with the previous situation, except there are many people dying, because maybe the hospital now know how to treat in advance the virus.
Okay.
So I'm happy to be here and not in person, but I think that that is a good opportunity this particular period, not being related. Also, because for the future problems, we need a multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary approach. So the various expertise is necessary to bring together the problem.
Okay. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Dr. Stefano Sher, for your information. Basically, we also noticed that the earlier of the pandemic situation that mostly affected Italy. So you are also correct that you told that that virus cannot work. Yeah, that COVID-19 has ego. If we don't invite that virus, they will not come to us. So thanks a lot, sir. We are looking forward for tomorrow's presentation from you, sir. And now my question to Chandan Kumar Poti, sir. I have one question, sir. I have one query. That you basically use that plant extract for successful storage, means you can store the seed, that the grass pea seed. So how, means in compared to the control, how many days extra you can store that grass pea seed? You have mentioned that 0 to 30 days. My question is 0 to 30 days. Is it significant? That means suppose today I am going to plant a seed. If I wait for 30 days,
Sir,
that
let
will
me elaborate.
fulfill my.
Yes, sir,
Yeah,
I
yeah, yeah.
understand.
Yes,
I understand.
yeah.
I understand your query, sir.
Yes, sir.
Listen, me. I have used the accelerated aging technique. Accelerated aging technique
Yeah.
to get the average result of the atmosphere, including relative humidity and temperature. Because
Yes.
within the 365 days in a year, we are getting the relative humidity in different ways.
Yeah.
Temperature in different ways. That 65 days average relative humidity and temperature is reduced to 30 days within the desiccator in the laboratory for the screening purpose.
Okay.
Because to get the favorable result, I have to wait for the 365 days. So rather than
Yes.
wait to 365 days, it is recommended from the International City Testing Association, so-called ISTA, Switzerland,
Yes.
to
Yeah.
reduce the 365 days into 30 days within the desiccator. So what the
Right.
result I will got within 30 days, sir, that
Yeah.
result will be reflected in the 365 days.
Okay.
Clear, sir?
Okay.
This is the
Okay.
experimental screening analysis. And
Okay.
practically, we have done it at the farmers level, that the
Hmm.
normal lifespan of the seed, which was written in the ambient condition of the farmers baranda for the 12 months or 1.5 years can maybe extended up to 2 years and 2.5 years.
Yeah,
Okay.
that is basically that I wanted to know that,
Yes,
because
sir,
in
yes, sir.
in laboratory condition, whatever we have got the result, that
Yes,
should be
sir.
reflected in our field. That
Sir,
is
it
why
is
I
already,
asked the
sir,
question.
it is
Yeah.
already implemented, sir, at farmers level.
Okay. Okay. Thanks,
Okay, okay.
Chandan
Thank you,
Kumar
sir.
Puthi sir, for your fantastic presentation.
Thank you, sir, for your
Meanwhile,
Okay. Okay.
meanwhile,
Okay. Yes. Yes, sir.
opportunity. Okay, sir.
Okay. Okay. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
So one another important strategy to achieve sustainable development is to reduce the exploitation of resources. If over exploitation occurs, then we will be not in a position to provide the same resources for therefore awareness is required immediately without further delay. In this context, I would like to invite Dr. Minmay Ghodai to present his work. He is on status and decline, causes of fish diversity of river Subarnarekha in Paschim Medinipur and Jhargram districts of West Bengal, India. So please, Dr. Minmay Ghodai.
Thank you, sir. Good morning to all.
Okay, Minmay sir, carry on.
Dr. Das, I think probably he's having some network issue. Could you please? He has again joined. Okay, he has again joined.
Hello.
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 Minmay,
Yes,
sir,
sir.
you can
Yes,
start.
you're audible, sir. Please start, sir.
Sir, screen does not show. Good morning to all. Thank you for giving me the opportunity in the today international e-conference. Myself, Dr. Minmoy Ghoroi, Assistant Professor of Zoology, Panchkula Bonamari College. Today I represent the topics entitled Status and Decline, Causes of the Fish Diversity of River Subarnarekha in Paschim Mednipur. Let us introduce my topics. Everybody will know that fish is one of the most important vertebrate group, and it is greatly influenced by the national nutritional security, livelihood, and socio-economic importance of the fisher crop. And everybody know that the freshwater biodiversity is the overarching conservation priority during the international decade for action water for life. India is one of the richest fish diversity country in the world, which ranks 9th position in the world in terms of biodiversity. And therefore, fish biodiversity measures of the health of the biological system, and different anthropogenic activity. Streams of rivers are facing number of environmental problems throughout world due to these activities. Subarnarekha River in India is the interstate river covers 3 states within 395 km of total length. It extended about 200. It extended about. Screen share? Sir, screen share?
No.
No.
Sir, shareable?
No, Nirmal sir, it's not. It's here. Yeah. Okay, you can continue without your slideshow. Your screen is not showing, but you can continue.
In my study area, it has been recorded that total 56 fish species belonging to 40 genera and 22 families and 8 order were collected from the 3 sampling stations. Next. This is the methodology fish sample collection. First, we have to collect the sample from sample the fishes from the 3 sampling stations, and these are analyses of the physicochemical parameter of the sampling water. Then GPS record of this station, then preservation, then conservation network model, conservation strategy, and socio-economic survey. And socio-economic survey. And the material method, first of all, the study was performed in the catchment area of the Subarnarekha River. It flows for shorter distance through Jhargram and Paschim Mednipur district. In West Bengal for 83 kilometers and Balasore district of Odisha. It flows for 9 kilometers and joins the Bay of Bengal near Talsari. The total length of the river is 5 kilometers. In these 3 sampling stations were taken into consideration for my study. At the Vallabhpur, one of the most important on the river, which are on the river of the Subarnarekha. Another station is the Vajragarh, and another is Sonakonia station. And the study for the fish diversity of the river was studied by the monthly sample taken from April 2009 to March 2022. And fish conducted using gill nets, monofilament gill net, and cast back net, and from all 3 sites. The primary data fish collected for identification in laboratory, the help by Stan Books, Talwar and Hingam 1999 and Joaram 1999. Secondary data we are question for interview to interrogation with the help of the Sherman. And next, two diversity index we are followed for calculation of the fish diversity. One is the Shannon-Winner index, and another is the Simpson diversity index. And this is the location map of my study area. And then I came the result. Then I came in my result. The result indicated that, or highlighted that, the out of 56 fish species belonging to 40 genera, 22 families and 8 orders have been recorded from the study area. And these 8 orders are Celeriformes. One is the most important orders, Celeriformes, and these Celeriformes, including more about 11 fish species, and another Cypriniformes, and these order already contain 20 fish species, 20 fish species, and these are the different types of fish here amalgam in the order of Cypriniformes. Another is the Perciformes, and here we also included near about 10 fish species, including in the Perciformes group. And another is the Synbanchiformes. Here include only 3 species: Macrognathal era, Mastacymbelus armatus, Macrognathus panculatus, and the last and the next order is Osteoglossiformes, that is the Chitala. Only 1 fish species included in this order. And another order is the Mugiliformes. Here we also see that 3 fish species including here. One is the Rhinomugil corsula, another is the Chelon parsia, and the next one is the Mugil cephalus. And the last order is the Belloniformes. Here we only 1 fish species, that is the popular fish species in the Subornare River, that is the Genentodon cancella. And this is the most important fish in the river Subornare. And the seasonal, we also measure the seasonal variation of the physiographical character of this river site, pre-monsoon season, monsoon season, and post-monsoon season. The different parameters like pH, ADS, degree of oxygen, free carbon dioxide, alkalinity, hardness, and temperature also measure for my study. According to family species collection, the Cyprinidae groups represent the dominant family, that is 35.1%, and the least family Bellinodi, that is 1.8%, and to order-wise percentage of river, Cyprinidae represent 30 dominant all of the order, and the one is the Anguli, that is represent only to at IUC conservation scenario shows that the least person only 71% represent the least person, and the not evaluated 16.07% represent the not evaluated species, and near threatened only the 10.07% represent the near threatened species, and deficient 0.78%, and vulnerable person. Here no species here is vulnerable. And last we come to our conclusion. Standard 2, that is the 2.278, station 1 2.052, and lowest in station 3, that is the 2.795. And this Simpson diversity dominant index value shows highest at station 3, that is the 0.772, and station 2 0.755, and low station at the station 1. With this index, 0 represent infinite diversity, and 1 no diversity, and 1 that is the no diversity, and that is the larger value of D, and the 4 the diversity. The value of this index also ranges between 0 and 1, but now the greater value the greater the sample diversity. The highest fish diversity was recorded in the station, followed by station 2 and station 3. And station 3. And the threats to biodiversity, the species diversity mainly threats the different causes. One of the most important causes are the habitat loss or fragmentation. Another is the competition from invasive species. Another is the pollution. Next one is the global climate change. Another is the desertification. That means the fertile land which becomes converted into the desert land. This is called desertification. And the last one is the unsustainability of the natural resources. And the last conclusion is that it is noticed that indiscriminate harvesting of the fish species from the natural habitat is regularly done by the fisher folk, which may lead to the severe decline of the fish population. About 71% of the fish species activity was discontinued in the river through reviewing with the fisher folk, and according to the IUCN conservation status, it is clear that some commercial and economically important fishes which are highly market value are at present in very near threatened condition. It is sorry to say that the important riverine fisheries of India earlier collapsed, or it is sold of collapse in this river due to the anthropogenic pollution. And last one is some state awareness program is needed to educate people about the importance of the river and its biodiversity and fish productivity. Thank you, sir.
Okay. Thank you, Dr. Minmoy Gorai, for your lucid presentation. Now the topic is open for discussion.
Hello. Hello, Dr. Gorai.
Hello.
Dr.
Hello.
Gorai, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
If you have recorded any new species or discussed any new species or recorded any species from Subarnarekha which is not earlier reported?
Yet I have no recorded species because this is my first year project work, and therefore elaborately I does not survey this all sampling station, so no species can yet recorded from my study.
Osteochilichthys thomasi. Osteochilichthys thomasi, one of the most important species in 2000, it was first time reported from Subarnarekha basin exactly.
Yes.
If you get it, then please mention.
No, this species we not collect from my first year study. So I try to collect this particular type of fish in near future.
What is about Berilias barna and bhagra? Berilias barna and Berilias bhagra.
These two species already we have to collect from this sampling site. Berilias berilla and Berilias bhagra. Already we have collect this type of species.
And how much you can observe these two species?
Is abundance.
These
Abundance.
species are available throughout the river, starting from, if we start from Ghatsila or Ghatsila and up to Talsari, then these two types of fishes is mostly available in all sites of my study.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Dr. Ungsuman Chandu sir, and definitely Dr. Minmoy Gorai sir for this question answering part. I have just one humble query to Dr. Minmoy sir, that you in your abstract or in your title you mentioned that decline causes of fish diversity, and the work you have carried out, that period you have mentioned from April 2019 to March 2020. 2020, March 2020, just before that lockdown announces. Anyway, so yeah, so that you mentioned the decline of fish biodiversity. That means you have record before that, means earlier report you have, means during that time that biodiversity or that fish species which were available during that time, and now you are getting that less species. That is why you have mentioned that decline, right? Am I right or not?
Decline.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. Thank you again, once again, Dr. Minmay sir, for your nice presentation. Now I will ask Partho Babu, Dr. Partho Putim Chakraborty, who is chairing this session. Partho is there or not?
Yes, I am here.
Sir, the problem is that you mentioned that 6 participants will present today. So 4 presentations is already over, and remaining 2 participants, remaining 2 participants, they are not in the room. So I think today.
It is now I am concluding this session.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Thank you. Today there are 4 presentations are there. 4 presentations are there from the various aspects of the biological sciences, from the COVID-19 to the fish diversity, environmental pollution, bioremediation, and the fish diversity, and the potentiation of the grass pea seed species storage pattern. So I thanks all the presented, those who are present in this international e-conference, and I am very happy with my 2 friends, Dr. Sakai and Dr. Stefano, also here. And so today I concluding the session, and tomorrow again 10:30 I am requesting all the participants to come and join that.
Thank you, sir. I would now request Dr. Anshuman Chanda, Joint Secretary of this e-conference, to give his vote of thanks. And for the remaining participants and those who have registered for our e-conference, we will again begin at 10:30 a.m. tomorrow on the second day, that is 14th of October. The YouTube link has already been provided to all of you. So Dr. Anshuman Chanda, kindly please deliver your vote of thanks.
Thank you, Madam. Honorable Chief Patron, Dr. A.K. Sannal sir, the Chairman, West Bengal Biodiversity Board, Patron, Dr. Sri Laha, Madam, Principal, Raja N.L. Khan Women's College, respected Dr. Sakai, Associate Professor, Department of Environmental Chemistry and Chemical Engineering, Tokyo, Japan, respected Dr. Stefano, CNR Institute of Biophysics, Operating Units of ISA, National Research Council of Italy, Professor Gautam Chandra, Department of Zoology, University of Burdwan, West Bengal, India, and all the participants. It's my pleasure to have been asked to propose a vote of thanks on this occasion of 2-day International E-Conference, Environment and Sustainability. I, Dr. Anshuman Chanda, on behalf of the organizing committee and Raja N.L. Khan Women's College Autonomous, extend a very hearty vote of thanks to honorable dignitaries, delegates who blessed us with their presence and took out valuable time your busy schedule. I must mention our deep sense of gratitude for Dr. A.K. Sannal for his valuable speech on biodiversity, environment, and sustainable development. Also, I would like to extend a special thanks to Dr. Sannal for inspiring us in diverse field of research activities in time to time. We also thank to Dr. Sakai for his valuable speech on carbon sequestering in the soil ecosystem and spending his valuable time with us. We also wish to extend our gratitude to our principal ma'am, Dr. Jayashree Laha, for providing encouragement and we are very grateful to Dr. Laha for giving us an opportunity to organize this event. We heartily congratulate to all the participants and paper presenters for their active participation and cooperation to complete the day one events. As no program can become successful with a single person, so I extend my big thanks to our departmental colleagues, IPAC of our college, and office staff members for their active support and make this event successful. Thank you all who contribute to this event. A big thanks to all once again. Thank you, sir.